My name's Jenny Jones. I'm a Green Party peer here in the House of Lords. For me, there are two big reasons. The first is the cost. I think there's a huge amount of money wasted when we're sending £190 million every single week to the European Union, and we're not spending it on the National Health Service, on education, and on all the other things that we need for a healthy and happy society. The biggest thing though, the absolute biggest thing for me, is the lack of democracy and the lack of accountability. And that's epitomised by the transatlantic trade and investment programme that is going to take a lot of power away from our government. To me, that's just madness. The Green Party's assessment of the European Union is one of real concern because it is a flawed body, there are all sorts of problems, but the Green Party thinks it can be reformed. My view is that it's just too late. We've tried to reform it over the past 40 years and it just hasn't happened. So that's why I'm voting out. Well, obviously that would be great because it would be a chance to have a real debate. The big problem with the arguments on both sides is that nobody knows. People have talked a lot about the risks of leaving, but there are risks in staying as well, and a lot of unknowns. And so for me, there's been so much scaremongering. I'm actually getting a little bit tired of the whole debate. I think that the way Greece has been treated is absolutely abysmal, and it's time that we took some responsibility. The loans in the first place were absolutely crazy, and it seems that Greece now needs a proper helping hand and not a handout. I would imagine that the EU as an entity would think that if we vote to stay in, that there's no problem at all and that it can carry on just as it's been carrying on for the past few decades. It's one of the reasons I'm leaving, because I think we need to actually take a little bit more control. I'm not somebody who talks about taking control of our borders. I'm not somebody who talks about reducing immigration. I think that these things are open to all sorts of misinterpretation. But what I would say is that we, as a democracy, have too little control of our economy and the way that we spend our money, and that for me is a big concern. I'll be working with Green Leaves. It's incredibly important that people understand there is a wider debate around the EU, that it's not only about the right-wing agenda, there's a left-wing agenda as well. There is a green agenda on every single issue. And for me, I want people to understand the EU is a flawed body and we've got to go.